Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Expanse Reaction. This is Haarute Live, my name is Matt. So last time on The Expanse we had the Weeping Somnambulist, which is, it was an episode where I felt like it was an in-between episode leading up to something, well actually something did happen there. And I just remembered that there's something I wanted to talk about. Okay, so I think the most important part about that episode, I think it was two things. We had Gunny, Sergeant Roberta Draper, whatever. She testified that it was the other guy, I think his name was Travis, the one that shot first, and everything happened because of it. Sure, because that's what they told her to do. But for a moment, she broke down after Christian and Vasarala pushed a couple buttons, you know. So after she did that, she broke a little bit, and she did reveal the information that there was someone without a suit at Ganymede. But then she just immediately defaulted back to the lie, which I think would be the best possible outcome. Because Christian did get to pick up on that piece of information and she brought it back at the end of the episode. But Gunny didn't necessarily betray whatever she was supposed to say. Maybe they will still maybe they will still give her shit for that, but we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that happened on that side of the story. And then I think the other important thing was the fact that we had that one guy. Actually, I think somebody mentioned his name on Patreon, so I'm gonna look that up real quick. And it was that guy, the aliens though guy, the guy that was super into aliens. Iturvi, is that his name? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. So Iturvi. So that guy, he was super into aliens and he's going to Venus to see what the fuck is going on there. He thinks it's alien shit. He's also right. So he's going to Venus to see what's up there, and he's going with this other guy, Janus, Commander General, whatever Janus, I don't know ranks, man. And he is very into the idea of this not being aliens, you know? He's like, that's some stupid belief shit, and this guy is like, but it could be though. So that was the whole argument between the two of them. But by the time they get to Venus, they see that above the crater, or like on the atmosphere, there is signs of like life forms, and it shouldn't be an environment where life forms could exist, because that's how Venus' atmosphere is. So they go, okay, the fuck then, right? And they send the information to Christian, and I think that's more or less where the episode ended. And then on the Holden side of things, we got to Ganymede by taking over a random cargo helping ship, the Weeping Somnambulist, which was a ship where a couple, a woman and a dude, they just transported supplies, just scare supplies, food, and all that stuff, to people that need them. So they were taking stuff to Ganymede, I think, and so Holden and Amos infiltrated in there, disguised as Martian soldiers. The cover was blown, and then they would just said, okay, so we need your ship in order to get into Ganymede because our ship is too conspicuous. So they reluctantly agreed to help, especially the woman. She was like, fuck you. But they got into Ganymede through that ship. Everyone but Alex. Alex stayed on the Rosie, and he's gonna be the man in the car waiting for us to get out of the bank robbery, and he's just gonna pick us up, and we're gonna fly the fuck out of here. But in the process, by the time we got to Ganymede, the Weeping Somnambulist was actually taken over by like some thieves. I don't know what it was. It was a couple of like thieves stuff that they just wanted to take all that shit. And then Holden and Amos came in because they realized that they were getting assaulted, and then a gunfight ensued. And in the crossfire, the dude that helped us get in here got shot and died. And so the woman stayed there crying over his dead corpse, just being like, leave, you know, just like, leave, all of you. And it was something. And that's where the episode ended. So that's the recap. I did talk a little bit more about that on the previous discussion, but what I do want to bring up is something that I thought about while editing previous episode, and I'm not sure if this is anything, but it could be, and it's the fact that Gani didn't put on the sunglasses on the previous episode, and they never actually gave us a reason to do that, unless they did, but I also missed that. So it could be a combination of me missing a lot of stuff, or it could be me actually there is something here to notice that I missed, and that is the first layer that I should bring up, and it's the fact that she didn't put on sunglasses when they got to Earth, like everybody did. I don't remember if the main Martian guy did, but she didn't. She actually was gonna put them on, or like had them, and then she left them, and then they said like, "Hey, you forgot your glasses too," and she said no, and then that was never brought up again. And I think there was also a scene where she was looking out of her window, and I think she was looking at the sea, and there was even a conversation about the sea earlier, and how it's like dirty or whatever. And then she was like, "All right, close windows." And I'm not sure if that is because the sun was too hard on her eyes, or not. Like I'm not sure if that actually was anything, if it meant anything, the fact that she's not wearing the sunglasses, or not. Because here's the other thing that I'm still thinking about. It's I don't know what the fuck happened at the end of Paradigm Shift with her and whatever that monster thing was. So my thought already that I already laid on the table is the fact that she is possessed or something like that, or that monster got inside her or something. So I should have been more suspicious of her previous episode. If I had been, I would have probably like mentioned the glasses thing, but I forgot. So yeah. So Holden and gang are in Ganymede. They're gonna see what the fuck the deal is with that doctor and the kid and the product molecule. The other scientist dudes are gonna see what the fuck is going on Venus, and Christian is trying to figure everything together. So yeah, I think we're ready to go. So, The Expanse, Season 2, Episode 10. Let's go.
Got her husband killed.
Yeah?
Those cops were gonna kill them both.
You don't know that.
It was the right move. And I keep telling myself that.
Yep, that's how you cope.
How many people have you killed?
Ooh.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Well, I'm not a homicidal maniac.
Just had a rough life.
Holden and Naomi, they're not like me. They're better. I'll watch your back, but they'll find your little girl.
I like this investigation. Is it somebody you recognize, Brex? What was I supposed to say? The fact that it was just black?
So you think she's lying?
I think she's crazy.
Still, I wouldn't mind getting her in a room alone. She seemed perfectly sane to me, and after Eros, my definition of crazy has contracted significantly.
She has
Something was bothering her and she was ordered to suppress it. Mars is using peace as a distraction.
Peace as a distraction. God, I wish I could disagree with you right now.
You really fucked up in there.
Okay, never mind.
I know. But I know I saw something.
Oh, yes. A man standing on the surface of Ganymede without a vac suit. You absolutely sure about that?
So you think I'm crazy?
I think we asked too much of you too soon. You believe what you saw is true because you need it to be true. To explain how your team was killed.
So what happens now?
Now you go home back to Mars. You've earned it. Then we do what's best for you and for the Corps.
I'd like to see the ocean before I leave. If that's possible.
It takes weeks, sometimes months, to acclimate to these open spaces. You saw what happened when we stepped off the ship. You're breathing natural air. You're trying to orient yourself with that damned horizon. Just rest. A transporter's coming to get you. You'll be shipping out day after tomorrow.
Why does she want to see the ocean so bad?
Open the shades.
She's gonna escape?
We did find traces of various plant material,
But again, that's consistent with the account. She was found in the wreckage of the Egg Dome.
I'm not talking about soybeans. I mean exotic biologicals. Anything that shouldn't be on Ganymede.
Sir, I'm not sure what you're getting at. We did a pretty thorough analysis.
I don't want pretty thorough. I want you to go over every goddamn molecule on that armor and tell me if there's anything you've missed. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Okay, investigating that even further. Like, I talk about the armors when it happened, but like every other team member in Gunny's squad was like slashed and beaten, not shot. So
We're gonna rebuild this place.
she's hopeful. That's nice. What are you looking at?
This yellowing indicates a nitrogen imbalance. We have phage-resistant bacteria in the hydroponic lines to prevent that, which means that something got in and killed the good bacteria. Which means the hydroponics have been contaminated.
Is that a hard fix?
Under normal circumstances, no. It's too far gone to make it.
Oh my god. This fucking botanist is gonna solve the mysteries of life with us.
Is that you? Correct? Yes, it's me.
Oh.
Coward! Goddamn coward! Our children are out there somewhere, scared and alone, and you just leave.
You done?
It's got nothing to do with you.
He's helping me find May.
So your child lost too?
If May's still with him, then maybe Katoa is too.
Katoa, okay.
We gotta show this whole thing to Rome.
A lot
we
of
gotta go
names
right now.
being presented to me right now.
He doesn't take script, only barter. Okay, he likes chicken. Only canned chicken. That works the best. Canned chicken.
He works for food?
Yeah. You give him canned chicken, he gives you a video from the security monitor. You give him more chicken, he gives you more video. He said that he could find Katoa. But I didn't have enough chicken.
I believe that Ganymede was a test of a new weapon that Jules Pierre Mao is developing for Mars. Based on technology he unleashed on Eros.
You've been in contact with him?
No. But I was aware of his weapons research.
He's coming clean? Why? Is he actually coming clean or?
Because I was working with him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is true.
You've known for a while.
Yeah, she did.
Ever since you had Frank de Graaf killed.
I know it makes no difference, but I had no hand in that, Christian.
But you covered it up.
This started out as a conversation about peace, about the discovery of this incredible proto-molecule.
This is very important.
This was a way to guarantee the safety of the Earth.
At a terrible price.
You're the one who taught me that Earth must come first.
And Eros, 100,000 souls. Did I teach you that?
If I had known what was going to happen on Eros, I would have stopped the project and Jules Pierre Mao along with it. And you know that!
Eros nearly destroyed this planet. You will have to answer for your part in that.
Because he literally didn't do anything about it either. He didn't come clean at the moment.
What we need to do right now is keep the system from burning down.
Okay.
This is everything that I know about the proto-molecule project.
This is really good. She is escaping. God, was I right about the thing with the eyes and she got possessed or something? Like, is it something like those bacteria, not bacteria, parasites that latch onto you and force you to do something? And they're forcing her to go to the ocean? Gravity, yes. Okay, she didn't fall on anything. Yeah. She's just running. Is it like actually a parasite? Is it actually a parasite that is forcing her to go to the water? I'm going super hard on the parasite thing now.
Freighters packed with food left the station after the battle to honor contracts, instead of feeding the people here. They've been eating the plants to survive.
These plants have no nutritional value. They're air scrubbers that supplement the station system.
What you want, Pampa?
Roma, you look like such an asshole.
You got chicken? That's what I like. Gonna take a lot.
You seem to be doing quite well for yourself. I mean, you got enough here to feed half the station.
Back.
This guy is such an asshole.
Just wants to find his little girl. She's sick. She could die if he doesn't find her.
He doesn't care.
Business.
I knew! I was about to say.
He can't find May if you bash his head in! What's wrong with you?
I was about to say Aim was gonna beat this man up. I didn't think it would be so fucking raw, though.
Are you gonna help us?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, that worked, but... I'm trying to figure out why the fuck he's stockpiling chicken, though. Like a small-time community of people surviving.
To find her as quickly as possible.
I'm on it. I can access our full surveillance network. We'll find her face.
And as quietly as possible. The Martians will, of course, be trying to find her as well. But there is a severe disadvantage on the streets of our planet.
That's true.
Are we information sharing with Aaron right now?
I'll tell him later.
Why haven't you turned him in?
At this moment,
We kinda need him.
useful to me outside of a jail cell.
You're the only person that knows the truth about it.
Which
The
means that
only
he can
person
dispose
anyone might
of you.
actually believe, and that puts you in a precarious position.
He's right, though.
Something changed with Aaron, right?
We can hope so.
Maybe when he saw Eris hurtling towards Earth, with no way to stop
He was like, what the fuck did I do?
he realized what he'd put into motion. That it was time to make amends.
We can hope so.
I wasn't trying to be funny.
I wasn't laughing. It's just... I'd forgotten how it felt to be fighting for the good guys again. I like it. It's nice.
The clinic stopped giving Peter his meds 2 months ago.
Okay.
Makes him forget his manners. And his reality sometimes. But I can tell you how to get to the ocean the way you're walking. Like the sky might fall in on you. Like the ground's gonna bite you. And if you're Martian, you'll have osteo-X. Give me what you can spare and I'll tell you how to get to the ocean. I can trade that and get a month's supply of meds for the kids who've been exposed to radiation from the drive plant. And I can probably get a month's supply of the new chloroquine. It'll save some of us from dying in the summer when we're forced to drink sewer water.
Jesus, is that true?
Wouldn't matter if I said it was.
You're a doctor?
I put myself on the vocational training list when I was 17 years old. I'm 52 now. Still waiting for my slot.
Christian did say they don't give them enough opportunities.
I'm sorry.
Everything we've been told about Martians is probably garbage anyway. That you're all a bunch of robots with no souls who just like to conquer shit. Oh, and I hear your music ain't nothing to write home about neither.
Well, that part might be true, yeah.
Just learning about Earthers.
Feet planted, in line with your shoulders, back straight, head down,
He's
staring at your toes.
teaching her how to walk.
Raise your chin. Slowly. Millimeter at a time.
I like how tall she is.
I would have stopped him before it went too far.
Every shitty thing we do makes the next one that much easier, isn't it?
Oh my god. He's eating the chicken.
Said you weren't a homicidal maniac.
I didn't kill him.
So just a maniac.
Where I come from, bullies take desperate young girls like your daughter and force them into prostitution. And when they finally get knocked up, they peddle them to Johns who get off on that. After they have the kid, they push them right back out on the streets even before they have a chance to heal. And those kids, they use them too. Some people deserve to be punished.
When I had to accept that May was dead, there's a part of me that I felt almost relieved. She was sick her whole life and I couldn't fix her. I'm better with plants. I couldn't help her the way a father's supposed to.
Are you asking me to tell you that's okay?
I know it's not. Did you notice the Ipomea batatas on the green wall?
Sure.
They're using distilled water in the hydroponics supply instead of the proper mineral solution needed for long-term stability.
That sounds bad.
I'll only be able to get away with it for another week, maybe two, and after that, the air, the scrubbing plants, what's left of them, will die off. When that happens, they won't be able to stop the Cascade.
What's the Cascade?
In real nature, there's enough diversity to cushion an ecosystem when something catastrophic happens. Nothing that we build, our ships or stations, has that depth. Now, in an artificial ecosystem, when one thing goes wrong, there's only a certain amount of pathways that can compensate for it. Eventually, those pathways get overstressed and then they fail, which leaves fewer pathways.
The whole system falls apart.
So it's not the thing that breaks you that you need to watch out for.
It's the sequence.
The station's dead already.
No, I think he is gonna target practice. With the can and the gun. Okay, no, this is even better. Yeah.
A no-fly zone is now in effect around Ganymede Station until further notice.
Oh shit.
Any unauthorized ships entering or leaving the zone expire.
Whoa shit. Now we can't do anything.
They be moving way away from the battle and where the mirrors fall. Those part of the station.
What's that
still be
person?
okay.
Is it a woman?
If they dare, maybe they still be okay too.
That's as far as you can go.
Swear. That's holds this part of the station. No camera after that.
Just right, looking right at it. Okay, are you being affected by a proto-molecule parasite? Also, what the fuck was the other dude that just randomly popped out of existence? Did it just walk away or? Go into the water. Okay, no, she's just gonna sit there. They found her. Oh, okay.
The thing you saw on Ganymede, it was real. Here. This is what attacked you and your team, isn't it?
Project Caliban, Promolecule Phase 4?
A new type of weapon. It was being tested on Ganymede.
Tested?
By your own government.
Fuck you, ma'am.
Sergeant, I wish to God it was my government. Then I would have some control over the situation.
So you're telling me that me and my team, we were sacrificial lambs?
And your friend Travis.
I don't believe it.
And I don't believe a goddamn thing you were told to say in that room. I need to know who is doing this and why. I need your help.
This has to be a mind game. You are the enemy.
We cannot afford to be enemies anymore.
We need to go now.
Ooh. Okay. Couple things were just dropped on us. Yeah, then they find her. We have to talk about a couple things. Okay. Discussion thing. Okay, so before we do anything, I'm gonna write down this fucking thing. Okay. Proto-molecule Phase 4. Project Caliban. Phase 4 hybrid. Okay? Phase 4 hybrid. So, and then to that we have a structure, capabilities, what does it say? Specifications or? I think it was the specifications. And then the last one would be, I'm rewatching the scene. It's difficult to like pause it. Anatomy, timeline. Okay. Okay. Holy shit. That fucking thing. So that is what she saw. Is the Project Caliban. Okay, so let's actually go one step further. Let's Google the word Caliban on Wikipedia. Caliban, son of the witch Sycorax, an important character in William Shakespeare's plays The Tempest. Half human, half monster. After his islands become occupied by Prospero and his daughter Miranda, Caliban is forced into slavery. While he is referred as a Baluna or Moonkov, a fractal monster, he is the only human inhabitant on the island that is otherwise not on Earth with a human shape. In some tradition, he's depicted as a wild man, or a deformed man, or a beast man, or sometimes a mix of fish and man, a dwarf, or even a tortoise. Okay, so we found the reason why he's named Caliban. That's nice. So, alright. A couple things happened that episode that are weren't... Okay, so that entire episode, I thought that Gunny was possessed like a parasite by the protomolecule, by Caliban here, and she was being forced to go into the ocean in order to spread it, or something like that. Because I was thinking something like Metal Gear Solid 5, where there is a point where there is a parasite that mutates into people, and it makes them want to go into the light, so then they are, and also secrete like sweet scents, so then they will get eaten by birds, so then the birds will carry the disease overseas. So that was the thing that happened in Metal Gear Solid 5 at one point, and it literally forced people into just like, no man, I want to go outside, and that reminded, what we saw here reminded me of that. With Gunny was just like asking about the ocean. She was like, I want to see the ocean before I go, please. And then she just decides, I'm just gonna escape my room to go into the ocean. And then she just goes outside and finds people and goes like, hey, where's the ocean? How can I go into the ocean? And it's like, it really made me think that there was a reason for her to do that other than just like, I want to see it. But it appears that was the only reason. It appears that she literally just wanted to see it. Okay, so she, like, it's understandable because she is going through a lot of stuff, so maybe the ocean is something that she can find some kind of comfort into, is something that she has never seen. And like she said, humans, Earthers take them for granted, and she's like, but I don't, and I never get to see it. I want to see it now. So, okay, sure. Okay, so I immediately want to jump into the fact that Aaron Wright decided to become a good guy now, because and this makes sense, it really does, and it's the fact that he just decided, you know what, I should come clean with the things that I fucking did, not like in public, but like tell Christian about him, because he does have a lot of very crucial information that he should bring up for the sake of everyone, essentially. Because at this point, and what Gunny said, it becomes very clear that it's like, okay, this situation is fucked. And there is some weird shit that happened here. We don't have any data on it. And it's just some fucked stuff. And it's not just war between one side and the other and like a miscommunication thing. No. There was something else going on. And Aaron Wright knew about it. And we can tell that he knew about it because he went up to Christian and said like, hey, okay, so what happened there was some bullshit that Aaron Wright came up with. Protogen, it's called a protomolecule. And I knew about it. I helped him do the logistics of that shit. I gave him the go ahead to just experiment with some of that stuff. And Christian is like, you know that this is your fault, right? Like, you are equally as to blame as that guy because you allowed it to happen. And Aaron Roy was like, yes, you know, and when the time comes, I'll come up, I'll own up to that. I think something like that he said. But I like it because Aaron Wright, up to this point, has been just some asshole that is like, he has power and he has a position and he is an accomplice of the quote-unquote bad guy. The thing is that he never really seemed like a character that wanted any of the bad things that happened to happen. Or, well, he didn't care about a lot of the stuff that happened, Phoebe and all that stuff. But as soon as there was a meteor flying towards Earth at insane speeds without any way of stopping it, he realized, maybe what I'm doing is wrong. You know, maybe this thing that I have been enabling could be a bad thing instead of a good thing. Because the guy did tell me it was gonna be a good thing, but now that I'm seeing the meteor, I'm like, maybe not actually. And I remember saying on that episode, I remember saying something like, "This is the moment where he should just tell everyone. This is the moment where he should just tell everyone." Because any information he may have may be crucial in stopping it, right? He didn't. And so at that point, I was like, well, then you're just an asshole then. You're just an asshole. But now, a couple episodes later, he's like, okay, actually, I knew about a lot of this. This is what I knew. I'm just going to give you all the information. Because I think that at this point, we should try and stop that from happening. And also because, like, at this point, Joe Pierce-Mao has already, like, Joe Pierce-Mao has abandoned his partnership with Aaron Wright. Like, we saw that on the Ear Station thing. He was like, nope, I'm done. I'm just gonna find new benefactors or whatever. And I remember at that point, I said, maybe he went up to the Mars government and asking them to be his benefactors instead of Aaron Wright. Because like, if you get a benefactor like Aaron Wright, it's like, okay, so the leader of Earth, maybe not the leader of Earth, but like pretty high up there, he's just gonna give you a lot of access to a lot of shit. Then you drop that partnership, so the only other place you can go would be there's only two places left. And I think one of them is not even a contender. And it's, you can either go to the government of Mars in order to ask for their help, and they can be your benefactors, or, I don't know, fucking Anderson Dawes. Like, that, I think that's, like, the only two people I feel like you can ask for help on some shit like this. And I don't even think Anderson Dawes actually counts. So I would have it, I assume it would be he just went up to Mars government. Which is why, like, people explained to me that there was at no moment there was a third party involved on the battle that happened at Ganymede. It was just Mars and Earth. But I remember thinking, did Joe Pierce-Mao like became an accomplice with Mars, and then they just sent them to die like that? Like, that is something that I thought. And I didn't, when I thought about a third party showing up, I thought about a Martian third party showing up, but not part of the original fleet. And I understand that there wasn't a third party showing up at all, not even a Martian one. But that's what I thought was implied, or not implied, but like, because like, if Joe Pierce, like, that's the logic process is pretty simple. It's like, if Joe Pierce-Mao left Aaron Wright and he found a new benefactor, a new accomplice, who would that accomplice be? If you go from the leader of like one army and you drop him, then the obvious answer would be to go get help from the leader of the other army, right? So this entire time I've been thinking that if Joe Pierce-Mao had to have found a new accomplice to help him with the bullshit he's doing, it would have been Mars. That's what I thought. Now we get a hard confirmation by Christian and Aaron Wright that they have been working on shit together. More specifically, the Project Caliban, which is a proto-molecule phase 4 hybrid. And they let him loose on purpose on Ganymede. So that's something I don't think I thought about. Like, maybe, but like like I thought it would be more something like they were working on something, and then it either like broke free, or like, no, I guess it would make sense for them to let him loose. But following that line of reasoning, then it would be the fact that Gunny's team were just lambs and into the slaughter. But like, for what reason though? Like, that's what I want to know. For what reason though? That is the question we need to ask. For what reason did they let this guy loose there, and why did they send Gunny's team in there, at that moment? Like, why? Because then they had to come up with a cover-up story. And the cover-up story is like, oh, training exercise, oh, we shot, oh, whoopsie doodle, Travis did it, he's the scapegoat. Like, that was the story. But like, why? Is it just to measure my abilities? Is it just like the Otachi Chiha way? Just like, I'm gonna measure how strong my Caliban is. Is that the only reason why they let him loose there? I don't think so. I don't think that it would be something as simple as that. So the thing is that I still want to know what the actual fuck happened at the end of Paradigm Shift. Because that whole scene was very confusing. It was like, there was a drone. I don't know what the fuck what the drone was. There was the Project Caliban. Now we know its name. And he attacked, mauled, and killed everyone except for Gunny. And then when Gunny was about to maybe die, she like stared at it right into its face. And then there was light. And then we didn't know what happened. And then the next thing we know is that Gunny... okay, no. What if that drone was a Martian drone? That drone was a Martian drone, and the Martian drone killed Project Caliban right before it was going to kill Gunny because they needed a witness. Okay. But why? Why would they need a witness? For a better cover-up story? And they just determine, okay, the last survivor we're going to leave alive. So then we may have a better explanation to give to the UN forces? Maybe that's it. So if that would be the case, and the drone was Martian, that would make sense, because what was the purpose of that drone then? Because like, even I thought it was suspicious whenever Gunny was like, there was a drone, and they were like, there wasn't a drone. It's like, they were like actively sandbagging whatever she said and thinking she was cray-cray, and just saying like, no bitch, you're gonna go and you're gonna say that. And it's like, why are you being so dismissive of her accounts? And it's like, okay, so that's why. It's because the Martians are behind everything. Sure. But again, we have to take that with a grain of salt, because that is what Christian said based on information Aaron Wright gave her. I don't even know if that is confirmed, or if it's an assumption. Maybe it's an assumption like the one I'm making, which is so Jupiter's Mouth doesn't have or resources anymore, so he looked for resources somewhere else, ergo Mars. Maybe she is assuming, like I'm assuming, that is a possibility too, but she seemed pretty confident in saying that, so yeah, anyway. I think that's it. We figured it out. Jupiter's Mouth is in cahoots with the Martian government, and they are testing Project Caliban. They let it loose on Ganymede, and that whole shit happened because of it. So it was just a testing ground. Sure. Now let's talk about Project Caliban. So based on me reading what a Caliban is, what character Caliban was in a Shakespeare play, I get a pretty hard read on what he is supposed to be, and also the wording protomolecule phase 4 hybrid makes me think, first of all, there were 3 phases before that one. This is the 4th. And that 4th phase means that So the name hybrid, the name Caliban and the word hybrid makes me think, okay, they literally juice a human with proto-molecule until it became this, the Caliban, Caliban. I think that that's what they're doing. Because again, they did like imply before that the proto-molecule is like it's progress. This is how we humans are gonna be free from the shackles of air and rock and whatever the fuck, you know. So that is what that was supposed to be. So now we actually do get to see what it would be like for an actual proto-molecule human hybrid. And like we did see it a little bit with like Julie Mao, I think. I would assume. Like all those people did get proto-moleculed up. But this is a phase 4. I think this is an entity that is just straight up proto-molecule. And a humanoid as well. So this is not just a human that got infected. I mean, yes, but to an even greater layer. Like, this is a new being. This is a new entity. Something that was born because of the mix of the two. That's what I would assume. Which means that they have been testing this shit already on people. And this is a successful test subject that then they needed further testing to see its capabilities. To see... Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was just to measure his abilities. Like Itachi. I don't know. But for some reason they let him loose there and he just started wrecking shit and that was it. I want to know why. Like I desperately want to get an answer as to why. So yeah, that. Sure, they're testing that already. So that means that human proto-molecule hybrids are already a thing. They are a thing and maybe it's not just one. Maybe they have several. I would assume they have several. So sure, I don't know what the implications of that would be, other than Jupiter Smile can have an army of. Well, I assume the process is like pretty fucked, but at the same time, proto-molecule does improve on like literally everything, doesn't it? It's like Azurite, so I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Like. Because it doesn't come off as that big of a surprise, the fact that they have this shit now. I don't think it does. But I'm just trying to figure out where the story could go based on this thing that they have set up. Project Caliban. Okay, so back to the Holden crew. Holden and gang. So Holden, Naomi, Amos, and Prax. They went into Ganymede and started looking for clues as to, hey, where could May be? Where's the doctor? And they eventually found... So Prax found another guy that he knew, and the guy immediately punched him in the face, and then Amos was like, whoa, stop, you know, and he just, like, pushed him down. I think he also punched him or something. And the dude was like, why did you run away? Coward. Like, why weren't you looking for children or something? And then he was like, I'm looking for May. This guy here is helping me out. Do you know anything that can help us? We're looking for our children. We're going to look yours too. So, I think that's pretty cool. Because also, like, that guy was immediately, like, aggressive towards Prax. Prax wasn't. Prax was, like, very much understanding of that. He was like, no, we're looking for them. We can help look your child too. Like, he got punched in the face and he felt no ill will towards this one guy. And I think that's really good. It's a small thing about characterization, but it fixed Prax and it's something that I really like. Also, the fact that then the dude is just like, okay, so there's this one guy, his name is fucking Roma or whatever. That guy, he will give you anything. He will find any information you want from him. He has a lot of access to like the logs or whatever. And all he wants is chicken. You just have to go and give him chicken, and he'll be good. Just give him canned chicken, and he'll just help you out. So we go and meet this Roma person, And he is immediately the biggest asshole I've known. Immediately is like, all right, this guy sucks. Because like even as we're making our way to his room, we hear this woman just screaming at him, and it's just an argument happening. And then she's like, I have to feed my family or something like that. And then she just walks out of the room butt ass naked, holding a couple cans of food. So then she leaves, and then the guy is like shirtless, looks like a complete asshole, gun, like the cock gun, you know, the one that you wish the guy shot himself off with that, because fuck you, that is the douchiest fucking thing you can do, like, and he just looks like a complete asshole immediately. They go in, and it's like, okay, can you find this thing? We're looking for this, and then he's like, yeah, I'll do it for chicken, and it's like, why, we can give you some supplies. We can give you some rations. We even have ammunition. We can give you all of that if you want. And he's like, no, man, I want chicken. Without chicken, I'm not going to find your thing. And Amos is like, listen, this man, he's trying to find his daughter, May, and like, she's sick. She needs him. And it's like, come on, man, help us out. And then he's like, nah, man, I want chicken. So then Amos just grabs a can of chicken and beats the shit out of him with the chicken, just bashes his head in with a fucking can of chicken. And immediately everyone's like, Amos, no, Amos, what the fuck? Because of course, right? And he was very raw. It was very out of nowhere. But I was expecting it, because here's the thing, is that Amos seems to actually do care about Prax and Prax's daughter. He seems to care more than literally anyone else. So the moment when he's like, help him out, help to find the daughter out, immediately I was like, he's not trying to persuade him into doing so. He's actually being honest. He actually wants him to help the daughter be found out. Like, he actually wants that. And then when the dude is like, nah, man, I want chicken, he's like, all right, fuck you. Boom. And I was like, he's gonna beat him to death. But he didn't. He beat him with a metal can. And not to that, but he would have. But I wasn't expecting him to just grab the chicken and beat him with that. I thought he was just gonna punch him. But that was even better. And I liked that everyone was like, no, and then Naomi was like, tried to stop him, and then Holden stopped Naomi, and then Prax was like mortified. It's like, oh my god, because like Prax is like such a nice guy, and he's finding himself in this situation where there's just so many just people just killing each other and just beating the shit out of each other. It's like, wow. So Prax is like, stop. Like, if he's dead, he can't help me if I may. And then Amos has this moment of like, he's right. So then he just goes like, all right. He just stops beating him. He grabs his gun, points the gun at here, and then he goes like, all right, you're going to help us out? And he's like, yeah, I'll help. Yeah. So then he just does help. And then we have Holden being like, if he had kept going, I would have stopped him. You know that, right? And Naomi is like, every shitty thing we do makes the last one better, doesn't it? It's like, we like, this party is not a good party. This party is not a morally good party. It's a morally gray party. And I do like that. The fact that they are being put into situations where they do shit that they ideally wouldn't want to do, but they have no other option. And that is something I do enjoy and appreciate. And in fact, I think that's the best thing you can possibly do for a character like Holden, right? So then Amos and Prax talk about it a little bit, and we got more foreshadowing / clue / whatever regarding Amos's past. To some degree, I think, at least. And it's the fact that Amos just goes like, you know, like, that guy is a piece of shit, right? And like, little girls like you, like yours, like me, they get taken out, they just kidnap them, and then they use them for bad stuff, and then when they get pregnant, they sell them to the other clientele that is even more fucked up. And then when they give birth, they use that kid too. And it's just the most fucked up thing ever. So Prax is and like Amos said, like, listen, like, some people just deserve to get fucked. Some people just deserve to be punished, man. And Prax is like not even arguing against it because it's just a fuck situation. It's like the most fuck situation ever. What Amos brought up, and that I think to me is a hint towards Amos' backstory. And now I'm like a little bit more concerned than I was before for Amos. And people have told me that Amos' backstory is actually like its own individual novel, I think, and that like maybe I should like read it or listen to it or whatever, and that the show only brings it up through like very scarce scenes across the show, and I'm like, I think I'm just gonna do that, but now that I've heard this scene, I'm like, maybe I don't want to read it. Not even if I wasn't going to, but even if I wanted to, I don't think I want to anymore. So I'm just gonna settle for the little mentions and trying to piece the puzzle together. It's not a puzzle I want to piece together. Like, let's be honest, it's not a puzzle I want to think about. But I think the show will eventually just give me enough information that I'll just be like, got it. That's how that happens. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever the show just gives me more regarding Amos, regarding Lydia, regarding his mom, whatever that shit was in Baltimore, and sure. I'm looking forward to that, and the motels and shit like that. Then Prax goes to the room next to where they were, looking for May and the dude. And even earlier he saw, and this is all technicisms that maybe I didn't follow very well, because I'll be honest with y'all, biology was my worst subject, and every subject was my worst subject. I wasn't an academic person, but biology was the worst one. So Prax is like talking about stuff regarding the plants in the station and how the plants are essentially not getting the nutrients that they should be getting in order to grow healthy. They are growing in a bad way because they are lacking whatever nutrient. So then he talks about the Cascade, and I didn't actually know, is this an actual term? Cascade. No, not Cascade Homestuck. Cascade biology. Biochemical cascade. Is that it? I don't think that's what we're talking. I think we're talking about a botanical cascade. Botany and cascade. There's a couple articles. Okay, I'm not gonna read this shit. This is like too much research to do for whatever I'm doing. But he's essentially talking about how in nature, usually nature fixes itself, but whenever we have an artificial ecosystem, we have to make sure that it works. It sorts itself out. Like, we need to make sure it works because it won't sort itself out, right? Because in nature, things just happen, and nature just deals with it. And eventually, it just turns into something different, but it continues to survive. When we're talking about an artificial ecosystem in the fucking piece of rock in the middle of space, we need to make sure that the ecosystem works and that every individual piece is getting the attention, the nutrients, the development that it needs to have, because otherwise it fails. Otherwise there is a fault there, which means that there will be a fault somewhere else because it's part of a larger ecosystem, right? Everything is connected. So by the plants not getting this specific nutrient, it means that they're all dead. They will be dead in like a week or two. And that also means that everything else will also just die because they are not getting this one nutrient. So it's like, that is the Cascade is part of a process, and like as soon as something in the beginning of the process just fails, everything else after that will also fail, and the entire ecosystem will fall apart. So he's essentially talking about how Ganymede is fucked. Ganymede is just straight up fucked. The station's dead already. They just don't know it yet. Okay, so this whole station is fucked then. Just like dead. There's no saving it. We've gone past that point. So Ganymede, fucked. Okay, so 2 more things I think I need to talk about. First of all, why the fuck did that guy want chicken? Like, is there a reason for that, or did the guy just really love chicken? But like, it's like everyone is starving on the streets. They're eating plants with no nutritional value. Prax said that, and that guy is just stockpiling on canned chicken. Fuck you. Fuck that guy. Like, honestly, he deserves Amo beating the shit out of him. And after we leave, we should just take all of his food and just distribute it around the place. And we all should tell everyone the fact that Ganymede is dying and is just gonna be dead in like nothing. So we should leave. You know, I'm not sure how we would do that, because then we saw a really cool scene with Alex. It was kind of fun, and he was just drinking. I don't know what he was drinking. I don't think it was beer. It could have been maybe like an energy drink or something. But he was just drinking shit, and there's just cans floating everywhere, and he's just listening to music, and he's just drinking, and then he is like, I'm gonna have fun. And then he grabbed the can, he stepped at the top of the stairs, then he grabbed the gun and measured the amount of distance there would be from the because I think the gun actually measures the distance with like a red dot sight or something like that, and it just aimed at this like rail downstairs. He measured the distance, and then he shook the can, and then the can's liquids flew off and just floating down there. And then Alex jumped down there and then did like a flip in midair, and then he landed with his back boots, and then he drank the liquid that he threw from up the stairs downstairs. He didn't get all of it, but he did like slurp like most of it, and then he was like, yeah, that was fun. Then immediately he gets the transmission that says like, all right, so nobody can fly around Ganymede anymore. Anyone who does will be shot down. And then he's like, boy, that can be good. So that happened. Sure. Anything else I should talk about? Because we did cover Aaron Wright. We did cover, like, right away we cover the thing with the proto-molecule monster. It now has a name. I already forgotten it. Sorry. I have it written down in the TXT. It's fine. Caliban. Okay. So okay, I'm looking more into what else to talk about here. I like how at the very beginning there's a moment where Prax asks Amos like, how many people have you killed? And immediately I was like, that's the wrong person to ask how many people I have killed. And he was like, I have no idea. And then he's like, really? No idea? And he's like, are you? And he's like, I'm not a murderer psychopath. Like, but like, Naomi and Holden, they're better than me. So, and they are gonna find your daughter. And I like that because it's like, Amos is like admitting that he's not like a saint. And of course he's not. Not in this crew is, but he's like, listen, I'm just the guy that presses the trigger, man. And like, I'm sorry if I'm not like the greatest person that you want to have to help you find your daughter, but those two are pretty cool, and they will definitely help you, and they will do anything in their power to help you out find her. So even if you think that I'm some kind of crazy, and I am to some degree, they're cool. So trust them at least. If you can trust me, trust them. That is something I did like a lot, actually. Botanical Gardens, Gunny. Like, I'm still so suspicious of the fact that Gunny just wanted to run into the ocean. She was so dead. Oh fuck, I forgot. At one moment, she just met a homeless dude who was a doctor of sorts, and I think he did say that he graduated or something at 17, or like he applied for a job at 17, and now he was 52 and he was still waiting for someone to say like, yeah, you can go. So I do like that because it is a consistency, and it is something that give us greater insight into something that was already established a couple of not long ago. But like Christian did say, like, it's not that the people here on Earth are lazy, it's that we don't give them enough opportunities. That she did say that last episode, I think. And that was pretty cool because it's like it gives me a better understanding of what Earth is like, and I feel like it also gave Gunny a much better understanding of what Earth is like as well. And that is something I appreciate because I feel like we don't get that enough. So I enjoy seeing Earth like that. I enjoy getting a better view on that whole culture, I guess. Earth culture. But she did see that one guy that literally just vanished. And I'm not sure if that was supposed to be something, or if it was just supposed to be like, oh, the guy just walked away while Gunny was just like, because that guy seemed pretty cool, because he was like, okay, so this is how you get accustomed to Earth's gravity, like this is how you get accustomed to walk. It's like, okay, so the sea's over there. Like, he was very helpful, and she did like give him like some Martian drug or whatever, and she was like, what do you want this? And he's like, because I can trade that in order to get some of the supplies that we do need here. And there was one guy there that he was also like, he didn't get his medication, so he was like kind of crazed out, and he was like, we can get some of the medication that people here need to live and survive the summer or something like that. So then she was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that's how things were in here. So I like that she gained insight into what it's like for a lot of the people on Earth. Because before episodes ago, she was like, fuck Earthers, we're gonna kill them, they suck, they're a bunch of lazy bastards, we Martians were the best, you know? And she was like so pumped for Earth blood, you know, a couple episodes ago, when at the beginning of the season, essentially. And now she's actually just walking through Earth's streets, and it's like this. There's a lot of small Earth communities of Earthers that are just surviving in any way they can, and it's because there's literally no jobs. People literally cannot get any opportunities. That's what Christian said. And it's they just survive with whatever the government gives them, but they just make do, essentially. It's not that they have a life that they want to live, it's that they just survive with whatever little they have. And Gunny now gets a first-hand like view into that. And I like that a lot, because it is some growth for this character in an area that I didn't like, which is how much she refused to acknowledge she refused to understand what it's like to be like an Earther. She was just like, no, fuck them, we're gonna kill them, bunch of lazy ass. And then she's like, oh, just a bunch of people living in a sewer just struggling to survive. Okay, yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? So that is a humanity check that I quite liked. But I want to know, that guy, I think he did have a name. I think he did write it down. Nico? Was that his name? So that guy, Nico, was he real? Was he not? Second, Paramolecule, we have established through Miller that and Julie Mao that there is some kind of space-time manipulation shenanigan. Maybe that happens whenever, because of the Paramolecule, because Miller did keep getting visions of Julie Mao, and Julie Mao did get a vision of Miller at the end when she was dying. So it's like, what the fuck? Is Gunny protomoleculed up? Which is a very valid concern, I think, that I have, because after the whole thing in Ganymede, I'm like, could be. So that is something that I'm wondering, and Is that the reason why this guy just randomly showed up and then he just disappeared? Or is it just some guy that appeared and then he just walked away without saying goodbye, and Gunny was like, huh, what's up? So I don't know. I'm excited to learn what that was about, but knowing the show, I won't. Not for a while. So yeah, I think that's everything we needed to talk about with this episode. Yeah, I think we're good. So yeah, I guess we'll just see next episode, see if we had more answers. But like the whole thing with Aaron Wright and Christian just finally hard confirmed getting to know about the Pro molecule, and just like Gunny also getting to know all that as well, and we'll see what she does regarding Mars and the Pro molecule and the knowledge that she gained. So that I'm excited to see that. Also, Holden and gang have to go into like the catacombs of Ganymede or whatever, just like the oldest part of the station, in order to see what happened to the child. So we'll just see next episode. I think that is everything we need to talk about. So yeah, that was The Expanse episode 10, season 2. And alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of The Expanse Reaction. If you would like to see next one, probably be up on Patreon already, as well as full length. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you next time, okay? Take care.